Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of our wonderful astrology reading that incorporates the tarot as well. If this is your first time joining us today, or joining me, I should say, me and all of our wonderful intuitive ancestors. Welcome. What I try to do on my channel here is that I have a love for astrology, and I learned how to do these wonderful interpretation of the cards, as they are all energy driven, just like the energy of the wonderful planets that are in the oscillation of our life. And that we are living in a wonderful time where we can tap into our consciousness and to see another glimpse of our wonderful humanity and what our ourselves are evolving into as this wonderful galactic body moves itself through the ethers and the unlimitedness. And so we have a great history of all of the stories that humanity has experienced, and they have moved down to this wonderful art that we call the tarot. A lot of people do have a lot of opinions about them, but if you're on a spiritual journey and that you have this calling for it, and if you're a viewer of this, you'd realize that there's more to us than doing all of our basic functions, and that we are species that are in a continuous evolving. And so today, I try to do my astrology whenever there's something special. So I've been doing a lot of like Pluto and Uranus. So today we have that going on. So I'll tell you what my qualifications are in this one. So for me, the moon is conjuncting Uranus. And so whenever Uranus is enacted into the equation, it brings about a kind of thing that's usually unusual and kind of hard to come by, but you have to be in the act at the time of doing it for it to actually really bring out the brilliance of it. It rarely ever happens when you're doing nothing, although if you're not doing anything and you're somewhere, at least something kind of comes out of nowhere, usually. And today, I'm just using that wonderful moment to do that. But we've also went direct in Mercury. And so Mercury is currently at an 8 degrees of that Pisces sign. And to go along with that, which is a water sign, we have Jupiter, which is in Cancer at 15 degrees. And we also have Mars, which is in Pisces, that's also at the 15th degree. So we have a lot of synchronicity in the astrology, connecting all the planets as they go. Well, if the moon is in Taurus, it's definitely going to make sextiles, which it already did, to both Mars and to Jupiter at different times. So it must have been a very eventful day leading up to this point. In my personal chart, as Uranus is really part of this is going to happen. But also at the 28 degrees is also Taurus. So the moon's going to hit my Taurus and Uranus twice. And so I get a 24 degree and then I get a 28 degree, which way you get a 28 degree, because that's the current placement of where Uranus is at 28 degrees of Taurus. So expect that, like, there's like, I said this in one more, I've done this before, and when it happens to me like this, of course I can't remember because there's been so many things that's happened. I mean, when Mercury goes retrograde, it really messes with your mind, especially this one in Pisces. And now that the Sun and Neptune are together, we're especially having our minds blown in so many ways, just because the new idea and the new story is unfolding for us. So when I was doing this, even 30 minutes before that moon time, I mean, it's coming near exact for me. It's not exactly exact, but I mean, it's pretty close. And so while I'm doing this reading, that Mercury part is going to conjunct, the moon is going to conjunct that Uranus, which is in my birth chart. And I feel like, since I can already feel it, I can feel the agitation in my soul, because what it does is that it gives you this extra amount of energy, and you just gotta like roll with that, you know. Once you know like yourself and your chart, and you live with these planets, you kind of feel like what's going on with them when they're happening, because some of them are pretty, like when Mars is around, you know, when Uranus is around, you know, when Saturn's around, you know, when Venus is around, you know. You just get a good feeling for like how they are, and so that's the wonderful wisdom that you get to have. So it's not always really the same thing over and over again. Really, it's just these combinations that really make a difference in what we do. So today we have the Mandala of the Heart, and so that has a wonderful message to it. We also have Cartouche, which is actually a little insignia or a name pin that goes on to a king to allow him to have this dignified presence, and so your name is written into that, but also it comes with a lot of authority for that person and that king. And so today it presents itself as where the next step in this wonderful little, not little, just transition is going on. So, and my friend just popped in with a message that she's going to watch this video that I sent to her. It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Sarah. I'm going to send you this. And we also have this card over here, which is part of the Oracle deck that it's kind of good from the Oracle of Visions. And so it talks about new beginnings. So far in this whole thing, it's really jiving. And so yesterday I did a little mini reading for myself. Wasn't anything that I was going to publish. And so this Cartouche card came out yesterday, and today in a wonderful shuffle, not, just looking for what the day wants to give, it gave the Cartouche card 2 days in a row. So I think that that's where we are in our evolution here. And so I'm going to read a little bit about that. Cartouche, divine names of power. Lady Isis initiates you now into her special mysteries, the use of sacred intonations and words that you speak are rapidly gaining power. This benefit from this power rather than be undermined or held back by it. Practice thoughtful speech and clear your heart of old unforgiveness, which can poison your words unintentionally. As your heart grows in purity, you'll be able to speak with spiritual authority, and what you speak will come into being more swiftly, obviously. Isis is initiating you as a master healer in her sacred tradition of divine names power. This is so amazing. We're leveling up. And what's this over here? The healer. And what's this card deck over here? It's the healer. So we're really right on so far. There's more to that, but we're gonna get on with this. But it goes along with the heart. And I was talking about that. And where are we? We're in the Mandala of the Heart, at the very most sacred place of ourselves. And what's this message here? We've had this before, but it's very meaningful today, as the other days. But we're starting over here. We've got a whole new start happening here in the spring equinox that happened yesterday, and now that wonderful energy is pouring over for the rest of our life. So we're in a wonderful place of even blessing our own self through this process. It says sometimes aspects of our life fall apart or don't go to plan. This is so they can come back together in a beautiful new way. Trust in the goodness and the inevitable blessing of destiny falling into place. Do not trust your fears. Put your faith in love of your heart. A heartfelt wish is going to manifest. Well, I kind of feel like they're all doing the same things. And now we have here that this wonderful Oracle Visions is talking about to move on from failures or simply to expand and explore new horizons. We make choices to leave the past behind. Whether it is a form of treasured objects, of material or symbolic value, relationships, careers, familiar surroundings, or even personal ideals, at some point we may have to discard them like a tree shedding leaves in order to liberate ourselves and allow future growth. On the floor are three discarded cards, each a fool from my three tarot decks. From the box, their spirits are released as doves for a new beginning. Ensure that the time is right to move on. Has your present circumstances been truly fulfilled, or is it being abandoned prior to its completion? Exactly, right? Here are those three cards that fell down as turned into doves. So it's really a time of liberation, and Uranus definitely brings liberation into the plan. I have this feeling because I feel like Uranus has really began its flow of life. Let me check real fast. Okay, so now we're going to do our wonderful card section of today's astrology and tarot guidance. And so, as you all know, if you've been here before, I always pre-shuffle my cards. It's a little bit different just because of the way that I do them and how I want to have these four decks that work with together. I found that I get a lot of great synchronicities with them just because they're four decks, and if you had the same card pop out like two times, like yesterday I had like two towers, and at the heart of the reading was a tower, and to be honest with you, by the end of the day I had a tower moment. There was something that happened that blew my mind. I really had to just kind of like go to bed a little bit. I just really had to deal with the feelings that popped up from there. And I don't regret it. I feel like it was a wish that came true, and I went along with it. But it really helps me believe that whenever I'm guided and needed to do this, like say for instance when I woke up this morning, I was like, was I going to do it? No, it's not really my regular atmosphere, and precisely so, just because like the world's turned over. Mercury's gone direct. Saturn and Uranus has moved themselves into Aries as well as the Sun. And so everything's like brand new here. So I might as well just be in a new place doing this. And here we are. All right, I'm gonna get started with the first card. Like I said, here we go. What do we have here? So it's a time of rest and reflection. That is definitely true just because we have had so many things that's happened to all of us during this Mercury retrograde. You're going to find out that whenever you have done and coming through a Mercury retrograde, now Mercury is still like stationed at that 8 degrees of like Pisces. And what it does is from that 8 degrees of Pisces, it starts to even recover and go over again, I should say, the same places that it went over. So if you've had a conversation with someone like around like this time, so this would be like about 4 weeks ago, well, that degree there in Mercury is still there, and so now you can reinterpret what had happened, or what's happened, or what's going to happen with that, because now that Mercury has gotten back into a place of being in its regular motion of operation, then it can definitely roll out just what those ideas were about. So where are we coming from here? We're coming from the moon. So as we can see, like I was talking about, there was a change here. The moon to the sun. And so you can see that for sure that that was a change here, that we went from the darkness of Pisces into the sun of Aries, where this Pope is a change of guards here, and we are like I said, reflecting on that. So in this deck here, like when I was trying to obviously get one card and two cards came out, but I don't put them away. I just kind of go with what the spirit wants to say. And here we go. And this first card here is a form of foundation here. So that's what we're working on, a brand new place to go and positive moving forward. That's amazing. Because a lot of times a Four of Pentacles could definitely mean that we're in a holding pattern, but in this case it's not. It's like everything you need to climb this mountain. And so you have this book going as well to prove that forward moments are on the way. And what do we have here? This brand new beginning here, the 0 point of the swirl starting over. So yeah, we're probably headed into a lot of things that we've contemplated about. And if you don't believe, like it said over here, right? Many things have come in our own life and they never worked out as the way that they were supposed to work out, but that they do eventually because of our wonderful heart here, which is a intelligence within ourselves. If we really tapped into it, really could tell, you can use that to guide your whole entire life. Believe it or not, you don't have to rely on external validation, and that's probably why a lot of people have to really allow themselves to be the authority in their life. Whoa. What's going on here? The wind just blew these things down. Because I'm right. Okay. Now we're going to go into our second part here. Hopefully that recorded it. And then we have the conflict. Yeah, we really do have to seriously leave a lot of very conflicting situations right now. There are people in your life, in my life, that would prefer that you continue on the same course, being the same person, being compliant and carrying on just so their wonderful life could carry on. But that's not what the universe has for anyone. So expect that you're going to have a conflict here because you're heading towards a new kind of agreement. And so this is a good kind here because as it's connected here to the rest and rejuvenation, what it really means is that you're seeking this wise like counsel. So in your own self, this wise counsel could definitely well be the wisdom of the planets as they are interacting. I said there were many combinations of planets doing their thing. So the very first one and the biggest one and the fleeting one at the moment would definitely be that the moon is going to go over like Uranus in just a few minutes in the regular pattern of 28 degrees, but also that the sun and Neptune in a conjunction wants to tell a new story, and it's requiring divine intervention in a way that is in the participating. And why do I say that? We see the wonderful owl here that's known for its wisdom, but the traditions of the Celtic symbols there also symbolize that it's good information that's tried and true, information about our humanity that moves through the times. And so we should trust that because it wouldn't be the first time we're doing that. And so now we have messages from Pegasus, right? It's a Two of Scrolls. So you can see that these messages are coming and we are doing it. And so here we are. And we're back to Eight of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles. That's what's going on here. Like I said to you, whenever we have a serious little two decks already having two of the same cards at the same position at the bottom here, you understand, because there's so many combinations that this could be, but it's not. It's Eight of Pentacles under Eight of Pentacles. And here we talk about the sun moving into that place and everything is ready here. Just like this firm foundation says that you have everything to climb this mountain, this thing is saying that you have everything you need for when that sun comes into that position that it's about to come into, that you have all of the tools ready to do things. And what goes on here at the bottom here? We have a Six of Pentacles, an equal give and take. This wonderful Three of Pentacles that we're doing here about this big collaboration, because that's kind of what it is. I know that I interpret it as the wisdom coming over here as it's connected here, but since we're talking about it in the sequence of where it is here, it would also have another meaning here, right? Because the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, they're half and half. So this is half of the story and this is the whole story. It means that whatever we do here as we do into our council, we're going to create this give and take. There is going to be, like they said in this Mandela, the coming together of something here that was and isn't at the moment, but that it has to be. So think about whatever dream that you possibly were having in your personal time, at the times that you were doing things, that you may have had to step back from with grace. I know I've had a few moments like that in my life. And here we are. Now we're going to find out here this rest and rejuvenation. We know that it's because we're connecting to the wisdom of the times, see what things we need to do. But here we have a death. So this is going to cause a transformation. And it goes along with this wonderful new beginnings here as it's in this line here. So this conflict from this new beginning is going to have a time that we are going to have to just rebirth ourselves, probably clear the ground all the way to make this new beginning happen here. And what do we have in the middle of this deck here? We have justice. How amazing is that, right? Because maybe a lot of times we really don't see the results right away, or maybe episodes have come into our life that have really strayed the timing of a lot of things, and sometimes people intervene into our lives, into our positions, and then they kind of cause us to go a different route than we would have normally have thought to, and we think that is just unfortunate. But this is here to remind you that there is an equal action reaction when you deal with the things of life, people, and the universe. And so we have justice at the middle of this deck here. It's sweet, it's a good thing. We have the Fool. Another new beginning here, another 0 point. Yeah, the 0 point when the sun comes. Yeah, how amazing is this? We're talking about all the things we're talking about here. And we have, ladies and gentlemen, a king of our arrows. So someone is going to speak. When the arrow is held up high, it means that there is a time to receive those messages that are on the way, and more than likely it is about something about justice. We see over here that there was supposed to be a message. Now we see that the person here is going to say what it is. And now we're going to go here and figure out from this firm foundation, this movement, this Four of Pentacles and this Eight of Pentacles, the message, the justice, and what comes from this. We get to finally say this wonderful Page of Swords here has had to recite the wonderful incantation of this book that you see at the bottom here in order to get this ball to rise. And so this same ball is the same ball that the Star card has with itself. And so that is connected to a dream, but it's also that the right words and the right words to connect this justice is going to really allow like the fruition of this dream to really come about. And what do we have here? We have the magician. And so right away we can tell that the magician is someone who has all the tools to do everything that they need to do. They sit here with their wonderful little portal, and we are in a 322 portal right now. And as I said, you have Jupiter and you have Mars together. Those are really big hitters of like really making things happen. So I implore you, it's a good time to keep your faith in what it is that you believe in and what's coming to you strongly. And what do we have here? The other manifestation. So these three cards are manifestations. This King of Wands, his wonderful story here is this fire that he is governing at the bottom here, but as you can see, he has complete control of it. And what does it have in there? It has an infinity sign. He's making the sign of infinite. And you can see that whatever is going on here, it's the Wands card in its highest, and it's the infinite. So we're really reaching to a place of maturity, but also we're doing something that's going to affect the rest of our lives. This is not a passing moment in ourself. This is a great monumental self for yourself that's alive in this time and able to perceive and to have some control over your destiny, and it is going on. And now we're here at the bottom of this deck, which gave me a little bit of problems, but it says 10 of Wands. So let's go to the first card and Two of Swords. And the love card. So there's a lot of work to do, and we have to be not afraid to do the work. So wow. Well, that's the reading. This reading really is about that, and it's all connected. I swear to you, there is not one card in here that it's saying that, like, sometimes you could do a reading and like you'll have a random. I mean, look at these three people. They are manifesting. He's manifesting. She's manifesting. He's manifesting. Justice is as vicious as ever. Like, it's like, gosh, there's messages coming here. There's messages coming here. Here's 2 Eight of Pentacles. I mean, where there's going to be a lot of work to get off the ground. But after 10, it's zero. It's zero. And we're headed there because even death clears out everything. Maybe we're having to do the work now of releasing these burdens from our lives. And a new beginning is now here.
Introducing our revolutionary product designed to combat voodoo, bad energy, and those draining narcissistic vibes. This powerful solution harnesses natural ingredients to cleanse your space and restore positive energy. Simply ignite with intention and place it around your home or workspace, and feel the transformation as negativity dissipates. Don't let bad vibes hold you back. Reclaim your peace and vitality today. Experience the difference and boost your well-being effortlessly. It's so easy. My candles are created by first cleansing them in incense. Then they are rubbed in ghee butter and soaked for 30+ minutes. Then they are added in with wonderful lava rocks on the plates. And then they are covered in the black salt that is there to combat the negativity. And the lava rocks are soaked in a Palo Santo oil, as the wonderful oils burn the salt, and a candle evaporated into the atmosphere. You can any personal customized items you like. Send me a message at my email address, starboy19801@gmail.com.